Hi, good evening. Steve Adler. Got a minute? Let's go ahead and let's take a look at some virus numbers tonight. We're going to look at a little expanded numbers with the charts that Dr. Escott gives us on a weekly basis. And that's pretty much it. We'll talk about one reaffirming story in our community that I want to make sure that I mention. But let's begin with the numbers. This is the chart that we always lead with. Take a look at the new admissions. The number is 25. That's an increase that we see. The 7-day running average is 19, and the 7-day running average at 19 is an increase. Remember, we were trying to get below 10 not too long ago. We got to 12 twice. It's been a while since we've been up at 19. That's a concerning number, still below the 40 to 70, which is the number to get into the orange area. We're having more increased interactions with people. This is the point in time when the community, if it really wants to be able to sustain the opening of the economy, has got to be wearing face masking, doing the distancing. If we relax, these numbers will go up, and we're going to be faced with really, really difficult choices. Number of new cases is 106. That's ahead of a 7-day average of 94. We have 101 in the hospitals, 38 in the ICUs, and 23 on ventilators. Let's go ahead and look at the next page so we can put that into context, because those numbers are the 7-day running average. The 7-day running average, 101 being hospitalized. How many do we have tonight hospitalized? 118, which means the number of hospitalized is going up. That would track the new admissions going up. 7-day moving average of people in ICUs, 38. We have 45 tonight. So that number looks like it's going to continue to rise. Numbers on ventilators, 23. That is the 7-day moving average. We have 31,159 total cases. We have 448 people that have passed away. That's an increase in 2 people. 2 families mourning loss of a family member tonight, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. Let's take a look at some of Dr. Escott's charts that he pulls, gives to the community, gives to the council, also to the county commissioners. This is the chart that shows you new confirmed cases. You can see how we dipped down, we went up, we came back down, we're going back up. Boy, it'd be nice if we went down again and started approaching back down at the lower number. This is what we're looking to see. I'm really nervous with Halloween coming up. That might drive our numbers up higher. Again, please, most cases we're seeing in the city right now are happening with evening parties, barbecues, social gatherings in the evening. People relax when they're around their friends, because certainly their friends aren't going to give them the virus, except that your friend can give you the virus as much as anybody else can. Even if your friend doesn't know that they have the virus, even if they're asymptomatic. Let's go ahead and look at the next page, next chart. This is a chart that shows us hospitalizations in blue. It shows us the orange line, which are there was cases, new patients. Orange is in the ICUs. The gray line down at the bottom is ventilators. You can see the dots just barely. The line shows you the 7-day running average, and you can see how those numbers are beginning to tick back up. Let's take a look at the next chart. This is the chart from the University of Texas that we looked at last night, and you can see that it plots out hospitalizations. This shows you in Austin and Round Rock, MSA. And then the model tells us where we're likely headed based on the numbers that we're having right now, based on the mobility numbers that the modelers see, and you can see that number tailing up. You can see that this model would have us going over 40 hospitalizations within the first couple of weeks of November. At that point, if that would happen, we're going to be moving from yellow to the orange area. That's what we're seeing in states across the country right now, in cities across Texas, some moving up much more rapidly than we are. We need people to get the discipline. It's not something that we can enforce. It's got to be something that we want. And I think it's it's not wrong to think of us in terms of trying to do everything we can in order to keep schools open, because that's the kind of choices that we're going to ultimately be confronted with. Let's go to the next page that we can from the chart. This is the infectivity rate by week. And you can see we've been going down over time. That number that's in the middle there that's high is the week 36. That was infectivity rate of 5.7, a positivity rate. That number was going down. We got to 3.2 last week, and then we're back up at here in week, that was week 41 last week, 2 weeks ago actually, and then week 42, the most recent week that we have numbers on, you can see how we were going up to 3.7. It's the first time our numbers really gone back up again with positivity. Let's break down that positivity number so that you can see it. This is now broken out by race and ethnicity. The red line across the deal is the 5%, which was the number that we were originally targeting to get below. The next number, the green number, is 3%. That's really the number that you want to get below. Some of the states in our country, including like New York, they drove their positivity rates down below 3%. And as they moved up above 3%, that was their trigger. And they started closing things down. But you can see what we have here. The gray line at the top is the Hispanic or Latino line. You can see that it was decreasing, trying to get below 5%. And this past week, it's kind of held steady. African American is the, what is that, orange kind of line, yellowish orange. Number was going up, looked like it was going to bust out on top of 5%, but it leveled out too, staying below 5%. The other three groups we have, the Asian group, the white group is the one off to the right in purple, at or just below the 3% number. Let's look at the same breakout with respect to age, and that's the next chart. You can see where our increases are. You can see each one of those blocks is a week in time. The numbers generally coming down, going from week 38 to week 39 to week 40, going down to week 41, and now in week 42, number starting to go up with respect to positivity. The big jump is the gray line. Those are kids ages 20 to 29. The yellowish orange line to its left is the 10 to 19-year-olds. And the orange line that's up to the right are 40 to 49-year-olds. These could be some folks getting it at school. It's not in the classroom. It's extracurricular activities, maybe bringing it home. Families sharing it at barbecues or across the fence, or getting together for dinners, or a drink late in the evening, getting together for some beers. And then their parents, ages 40, 49, then start giving it to one another. Those are the numbers that we're looking at. We continue to monitor schools. This is one page from Dr. Escott's deal that shows you the weekly report of cases as our contact tracers continue to watch this. Just thought it might be interesting for you to see that we're keeping track of this stuff and watching it. Austin ISD, 2 students, 5 staff members, 2 other cases. That could be support staff, subs, custodial, food service, transportation staff. But you can see charter schools, just 1 staff case. Eanes, 7 students, no staff, no others. I wanted you to see mostly that we were just continuing to watch those numbers and see them. And I wanted you to see all those slides. Early voting trends in the city continue to look really strong. As of Monday, 31% of registered voters in Travis County had voted. As of 3 o'clock today, another 20 2,000 people have voted. And that was like at 3 o'clock or something like that. So that number is going to continue to rise. We need to keep that momentum going. Need to have everybody vote in this election. Really important things, all the way from president, United States senator, congressman, Texas House of Representatives, city council seats, and Proposition A and Proposition B, Project Connect Public Transit on the ballot. As of, you have until October 30th to vote. Be an October voter. You can actually vote on November 3rd, but don't think of it as election day. Think of it as the last day. If you can vote before then, vote in October. Really safe to do. You can go to find your polling location by going to votetravis.com. Votetravis.com. Polling locations are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. And then on Sunday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. I think one or two of them might be noon. I could be wrong about that, but somewhere between 11 and 12 on Sunday till 6 p.m. You can go to that website, votetravis.com. Go down toward the bottom. There's a button to click. You can see what the wait times are. I voted on Sunday and voted with my daughter and son-in-law. We made it a family affair. And we were in and out in 5 minutes. Make sure you take your mask, take your ID. You might want to bring a pen with you. You're not going to have to touch anything that other people touch. You're allowed to take in a sample ballot or notes to remind you who to vote. You are not allowed to take out your phone, take pictures, or make a call. I want to conclude with talking about how in times like this, you really get inspired by stories of people that are taking care of one another. And it's hard to see people that are hurting. It's hard to see people that are struggling. And certainly in our city, we've seen some businesses close. Every time I see one of those, it's really hard, and it's painful, and it hurts. We've been trying to work through our SAVES resolution as a council, getting $15 million out for childcare, keep that industry going. Also, music venues and other iconic places to help make sure we don't lose those that are irreplaceable in our community. But even with that, still not enough dollars. We need help with restaurants from the federal government, with movie theaters, with the other kinds of businesses that are struggling in our city. We need the federal folks to get their act in gear and come through with relief. I think they will before the end of the year. I wish they would do it now. But we have a story this week of a Revival Coffee Shop that announced earlier this week that it was closing. Gabby Busillo, the owner of, they posted this week and they said goodbye to their customers. They talked about having had a great run where they served just incredible coffee. The same kind of story that just really tears at your heart, because behind every business that's closing like this is a real person, real people. It's just hard. But anyhow, they were closing and they announced that, and Gabby Busillo, the owner of Gabriella's downtown, Te Quiero Mucho and Malavida, decided to go ahead and buy them so that they could stay open. I just think that is that's great. So you had the picture there on Instagram of the closing. This is the picture of it reopening, and that's just wonderful and made me feel good. And I wanted to share that with you too. With that, you all stay safe. Good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.